by Rosanna Ma and her dancers. Rosanna?
Thank you, everybody, for coming. We would like to dedicate 2 songs for Bruce. Actually, the first one is Mele Ohana, which means he lifts his voice to us. And the second song is called My Prayer. And my halal here, Yamamoto, hula halal, Dana, Lisa, Jenny, my hula instructor, Jenny, and Lynn. I wanted to do this because Bruce and Dolores enjoyed coming and giving their time for us to see us perform. And, he enjoyed doing that for us. So the last time that he was able to come see us was in December when we had it downtown Monterey. And he really enjoyed it. So I'm dedicating this to him because I know that if he were here, I know that they would come and support us. And so this is what I wanted to do from my heart. And so enjoy and love you guys. Thank you. actually also wanted to mention that Bruce supported our halal by donating, and so that was another thing that he did. So this is why we wanted to give our thanks to him.
Thank you. Rosanna? In a few minutes, we're going to have Jalea come up. She has a song dedicated. Jalea, I'm sorry. Are you ready? We're out of order. Oh, you can't hear me? First time. I'm just wondering, Bruce touched us all. And when they asked me to come up here and speak, I was honored. But what needed. Then as I was thinking about what I was going to talk about, I found out it's going to be a very difficult talk. And I apologize, but I might have to sit before I fall. How much time? Are you ready? First of all, as I get ready, what I want to do is, you probably don't know who the heck I am, so I wasn't paid for this. I know Bruce for a short time, since I was 12 years old. And I do want to acknowledge the two families here, the Leon family and the Delgadillo family. Can you just stand up? I want to give you a hand because when Bruce and Dolores got married, they didn't know who I was, and it certainly wasn't by my looks or charm that they accepted me. They only accepted me because I was Bruce's friend and Dolores' friend. So I want to thank you because they've always made me part of the family. Sarah? Our singers, where'd they go? They will need 2 mics. And our DJ, Rich, volunteered his time today. Thank you.
Hi everyone. We are going to be singing a song dedicated to Uncle Bruce, and it's called Really Gonna Miss You. Really gonna miss you. It's really gonna be different without you. Never song that we're going to do is called Tu Solo Tu.
How can you stop the rain from falling down? How can you stop the sun from shining? What makes the world go round? And how can you mend this broken man? How can a loser ever win? Please help me mend my broken heart.
Mira cómo ando mi amor por tu querer. Borracha y apasionada, no más por tu amor. Mira cómo ando mi bien, muy dada a la borrachera y a la perdición. Solo tú has llenado de luto mi vida, abriendo una herida en mi corazón. Tú, solo tú, eres causa de todo mi llanto, de mi desencanto y desesperación.
Mira cómo ando, mujer, por tu querer.
Solo tu sombra fatal, sombra de mar, me sigue por donde quiera con obstinación. Y por quererte olvidar, me tiro a la borrachera y a la perdición. Solo tú has llenado de luto mi vida, abriendo una herida en mi corazón. Tú, solo tú, eres causa de todo mi llanto, de mi desencanto y
Thank you, everybody. We wanted to come up here and sing. As I was growing up, I could always count on Uncle Bruce and Auntie Dolores coming to hear me sing when I was a child, and my daughter is now doing that, and Uncle Bruce loved to hear her sing as well. So thank you.
Me again. I think some of you were here about a year ago, and I gave you the story about how I met Sarah and Dolores' family. I won't go into that now, but Dolores, Bruce had talked to me before the wedding, and he was clear that he wanted to marry you. And they got married July 27th, 1968. And I can honestly say, Dolores took her vow seriously. She honored and cherished, rich or poor. I forget the other words. You can tell I was divorced. In health, and not in health, something like that. But I just want you to know that it was his own free will. Your father didn't make him. There was no shotgun. Who was this Bruce Wayne Ma? He was son of Chu Bo King and his father, Fook Ma. And later on today, I think we'll start on this side. We're going to hear from other people. They're going to tell us who Bruce Wayne Ma was. I'll go through my little story. I met Bruce when we were probably 11, 12 years old. Gordon, his brother, was there. Fred Young, the one walking around taking pictures. We were the Chinos. Chinos because Friday nights we had to go to Chinese language school. And we were mad about it. And I met Bruce. He taught us how to roam the hallways and cut class. When we did get caught, we got sent back in the classroom. But it wasn't too hard to get kicked out of class. We just had to mispronounce his dad's name. Remember I told you his dad's name was Fook Ma. Later on, it turned out Bruce had a paper route with the Political Times, which I did too. And I want you to know the team name of our paper routes we were the Dodger team. I was Dodger 7, I think he was Dodger 11. We lived miles apart, but Bruce had encouraged me to get in a contest to go to Disneyland. We had to get 15 subscriptions by 4 months. And this was the kind of guy Bruce was. I was short a subscription, and he gave it to me so I could qualify. Now, I really thought he was a pretty nice guy then. And Disneyland was a lot different back then. It was a one-day trip. We got on a bus at midnight, drove all the way down to, nobody even knows the story, drove all the way down to Disneyland, and Bruce pulls out a bag, and he hands me a straw, and he's got this 1-pound bag of split peas. And I said, what the heck's this for? He says, we're going to sit in the back, and we're going to hit everybody in the head with peas. Now, most of you know, this was my first all-nighter with Bruce. A lot of you guys can relate. He doesn't go to sleep. I think he had a deck of cards in that bag, too. But as we got into Disneyland, we got in there about 7 a.m. We got through the gates. And most of you do not know, but back in the days, Disneyland, you just got a day packet. You had these A, B, C, D, and E tickets. And the A, B, C tickets were for young kids. And you got about 3 E tickets. The E tickets were for the major rides. So about 11 o'clock, we had used up our E tickets. And we really didn't want to ride the A rides or B rides. But he said to me, let's go over to the kiddie section. We'll get some tickets. And I thought to myself, oh my God, he's going to mug the kids. But he was sharp. most of the mothers there had young kids and had no need for e-tickets. He traded our ABC tickets for e-tickets. So we were able to ride the rides until about when we had to get together for 4 o'clock, where we gathered back in the bus and we went to Knott's Berry Farm for our chicken dinner. And there, it's about 4 or 5 o'clock, we reminisce about our day at Disneyland. And I thought I get choked up about this because I've taken my nephews and nieces to Knott's Berry Farm, and they really don't understand how a chicken comes on a bone. But I would sit there and reminisce the day that Bruce and I sat there having a fried chicken. First time I ever had mashed potatoes. And I would just go back there a few times and just reminisce about that. That was Bruce. He got me in there, and he got us e-tickets. Later on, we're about 15 and a half, and, if you see pictures of Bruce, he had his hair just, I don't know what you call that style, but he'd rat it up and be, whatever you call it. And he'd come over my house, and he'd spend hours trying to perfect that hair with Aquanet. And about that age, we were trying to grow mustaches. And one day he came over, and he says, I got a brilliant idea. I says, what is that? And he whips out some Maybelline mascara. And we're in my bathroom, and he starts putting mascara on his mustache. And he says, well, how does that look? And I just stared at the mirror. I never really ever told him this. All I could think of was, my God, if you start using lipstick, you'll go broke. Later on, Bruce was a do-it-yourself guy. He always fixed things. And I couldn't figure out how he ever did it. He didn't do well in math. He could rebuild engines, pull them out. We were 16 years old, and he'd pull engines out and drop engines in. One of the times that I remember is that he had a 64 GTO, and I had a 65 GTO, and we would go down the Fremont drag race, and he would beat me. One day, I said, I want to rebuild this and put on a heavier cam, this and that. And if you know Bruce is a little competitive guy, but I didn't know anything about engines. But he rebuilt my engine. And he wanted to go down the Fremont drag race and race. And I felt I really didn't want to because I might beat him. But this was the kind of guy he was. He encouraged me to do it. And that was Bruce. He'd spend time working on your engine. He always wanted the best for you. He was the kind of guy that you always knew he'd be there in the middle of the night when you called. You had to call somebody for some help. I know a lot of you here have felt the same about him. Probably have called him a few times. I know I have. Growing up in high school, Bruce, I'm going to be honest with you, it's the kind of guy your parents warn you about. That's not the guy you want to hang around with. But Bruce had fun. He pushed the envelope sometimes. Sometimes in high school I'd wonder which direction he was going to take. But at 18, he was expecting, and he got married. That was the best thing that ever happened for him. Get married to Dolores, and having his children. I've gotten to know his children, the family, and they're just wonderful. I mean, I truly believe, best thing happened to Bruce, because Bruce loved his family. He always took care of his family. After they were married, he was 18 years old. They moved into his grandfather's house. Lizzie was born just before that. And this house was a shack. Termites had already eaten the house up. The joke was the house would fall down if the termites weren't holding hands. But Bruce, I still didn't know how he could figure it out, but he rebuilt that house. He tore out the floor, tore out the studs, rebuilt this house. And I have to say, when Bruce Jr. was rebuilding my house, I was just kind of watching it, and he was doing the same thing his dad did. I didn't know how he could do it, but he figured it out. He measured it out. One day, Bruce came to me, and his prized possession was a 64 GPO. And his words were, he has a family now. I've got to grow up. And he sold the GPO. And I learned from him, because soon thereafter I thought, I have to grow up, and I sold my GPO. At 21, I believe he was 21 or thereabout, he buys his first house with his wife on Mathos. I think that had to have been 1971. And I'm trying to remember the dates, but it had probably stayed there until 1980, 81. That's when he moved to Gilroy. I think most of you out here met him afterwards in Gilroy. He moved out. We went on kind of separate lives. We kept in touch. And even though there'd be years when I didn't talk to him, but when I did talk to him, it was like yesterday. And he always had my back, and he would always cover my family's back. Giona, where is Giona? You are lucky that when you were born, there was no YouTube. Bruce was so proud of his first granddaughter, and he was probably 36 years old, that, if I remember right, it was at Good Sam Hospital. I was about half an hour late getting there after Gianna was born, and he holds up the camcorder. And he says, I got the birth on film for you. Gianna, you may not know this, but there's a film floating around. I will always miss Bruce. He was BFF before there was a BFF. And I'm just blown away. I watched, just seeing his family and friends saying goodbye to him. I mean, it was just a gut-wrenching, heart emotional thing, but it's just a sight that's unbelievable that I can't even describe to you. On March 26th, about 7:40 p.m., Bruce got up on the big e-ticket ride to the Lord. And I will forever miss him, but I know he's in our hearts and he lives with us. Thank you. Anybody else want to get in line?
Well, I guess George pretty much summed up everything I wanted to say. But before before I started, I asked George, I said, how should I do this? Get up and share my thoughts. And he told me, he says, write your thoughts on a little card. He says, these little cards. He says, you know what I'm talking about? I said, yeah. So I got them. And I got to looking at these little cards, and I thought to myself, this ain't going to do it about how I feel about Bruce. These cards are too little. But anyway, for those of you who don't know me, I'm David. I'm Bruce's brother-in-law. I'm married to Dolores' sister, Carol. I met Bruce in 1971 when I started to date Carol. I went to the house there on Sierra Road where Pete and Sarah Delgadillo lived, and of course that's where Carol lived. And I'd been going over there for a couple of weeks, and I went over there one evening, late afternoon. I knocked on the door. I was about getting ready to knock on the door. There was a screen door and then the front door. And as I went to grab the screen door, the front door flew open. And I saw this young woman that was in massive pain. Well, it was Dolores. They were escorting her out because she was in labor. So I held the screen door open, and right behind her was Bruce, and he was helping her out the front door. Well, as I held the screen door open, he looked at me, and I looked at him, and he says, my wife's having a baby. He had this big smile on his face. He says, I'll talk to you later on. That's where Bruce Jr. came in. She had Bruce Jr. Well, I didn't see him for maybe about a couple of weeks after that. But when he mentioned that I'll talk to you later, I got to thinking, I said, well, as I was writing my thoughts down, I said, well, 42 years later, I never realized how much Bruce would influence my life. George, like I said, pretty much summed up quite a bit of my thoughts. But he mentioned how Bruce was always willing to help anybody in need. Didn't matter what it was. Well, there's a saying, jack of all trades, master of none. I don't think that applied to Bruce. I think he was a master of pretty much anything he wanted to do because he did it in such a loving and kind way. There was a time where Carol and I remodeled the kitchen in our house. And so he kind of came over just to see what was going on. And he says, what are you doing? And he kind of looked around. I said, well, you can see what I'm doing. He says, where's the cabinets? I said, I got them in the garage. He says, well, how come you haven't hung them? I said, well, I haven't figured it out yet. So he just kind of looked at me and smiled. He says, you have any beer? Well, I don't know if I did or not. If I didn't have any beer, I'm sure I went and got some. He says, come on. He says, you and I together, we'll figure it out. We started in the daytime, and we didn't finish till late in the night, 12, midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, I don't know. But that was Bruce. I mean, like I said, willing to help anybody. Bruce was hardworking. He loved his family, as George mentioned. And I don't think I ever heard him once tell my sister-in-law no for something that she needed or wanted. He gave her everything. And he went to the extremes to give his children pretty much what they needed so that they could have the best of life. Of course, we all know Bruce loved to play cards. There was a time we went to Reno and he was playing blackjack. And man, he was on fire. I say that because I cashed in probably about $15,000 worth of chips for him. If I didn't do it, I wouldn't be here to say it. And I'm sure he had his moments when he lost, and I just hope he didn't lose too much. If I was to read what I have on my card, like I said, it's pretty much a repeat of what George said. So I'm going to conclude by just simply saying that I'm going to miss you, Bruce. My family's going to miss you. And I'm sure everybody here is going to miss you. So my last thought for Bruce is may you rest in peace, my friend, my big brother, my brother-in-law.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? You can't hear? Hello? Can you hear now? Okay. I get the honor of being able to read Dolores' true feelings of what she wrote down, how she felt about her husband, Bruce. So I'm going to read word for word as she had wrote it, okay? Bruce was loved by all and will be remembered for his generous, thoughtful nature and contagious laugh. He was always thinking of his friends. He loved his kids, family, grandchildren, and his great-grandchildren. Right, Dolores? Bruce spent time going to the bowling alley, and while there, he loved chatting with people and friends. After having dinner there, he would karaoke, Love Me Tender, and sing. He would sing You Lost That Lovin' Feeling. He would sing with his wife, I Got You, Babe. You guys all remember that duet that they would do? Bruce enjoyed especially going to see Tom and Grace. Tom's around here somewhere. I don't know where he's at. Bruce also loved to cook and barbecue, especially if it was for an event at his kids' homes or family homes as well. He was known for his good lemon chicken wings, made his own salsa. That was the best salsa from a Chinese man. We shouldn't forget he loved his Bud Light beer also. Bruce has a lot of good memories. We can go on, but we will let you share some good memories of him. He's a wonderful, loving, caring, remarkable, and smart man who loved his wife, Dolores, family, and loved all his friends. That's from Dolores' heart.
Thank you. Whoever wants to speak, come on up here and line up.
Hello, my name is Brad Noons, and I was fortunate to live down the street from one amazing family. And most of you have known Bruce maybe a little bit longer than I have, but I know when it started was back at 335 Victoria Drive. And that was a little sanctuary for us. Charles, Lauren, you know, everybody back there. And that's the one thing about Bruce. He was always accepting, always loving. And no matter what your background was, he brought you in and gave you a big hug and a kiss. And when he called me son, that was everything for me. The countless numbers of trips to Tahoe, to the lake. He was always there with a smile and a hug. And the last few months, knowing that Bruce was getting ill and sick, it was one of those times that was hard for all of us to live through. And but I do know that now he is in a better place. And I'm thankful that he is there because it was a hard and tough fought battle. But I just want to say thank you to him because, you know, I looked at him like a dad. And it hurts that he's gone. But I just want to say that I love him, he'll be missed, and we'll all see him one day.
How's everybody doing? My mom is Elizabeth Ma, my grandfather's first or only daughter, and my sister Gianna is the oldest. I am the second oldest, and then my brother Devin, he's not here, and Aaliyah. Married to my wife Anna. We have a daughter, Kyrie. She's sleeping. My sister's pregnant, and her husband Israel. And start talking about my grandpa. Yeah. it's hard to talk about him because such good memories. And I wrote a little speech about him, but I'd rather just talk from the heart. I wrote from the heart, but it's not easier to talk. Also, what you guys want to see my face? He was a great guy. He was my inspiration. Him and my Nini, they're everything I want my marriage to be. He made the best fried rice, the best lemon chicken that George and who else I'd say? Uncle David had said, and just his face every time he had cooked, just amazing because just gloating about everything, just how it tasted, just always up in your face, like, oh, it's good, huh? It's good. And it was good. And my wife's favorite food is his fried rice. And just everything he's taught me is, take pride in everything you do. Like, I helped him one summer with the business, loading furniture up into the truck. We're going to go to LA. And, he comes up behind me and just laughs and jokes. That's how you load a truck? And starts just unloading it, loading it his own way. But, he's taught me a lot. I'm thankful for having him in my life. He means everything to me. And I'm sure he means everything to you guys. He'll always be in my heart. Love you, Papa.
Come on up.
Hi, my name is Gordon Ma. I'm Bruce's brother. And I just want to say it's a testament that he was loved by many. I appreciate you all for taking the time to come out and pay tribute to Bruce. I know as a sibling, when you have siblings and you have families of your own, it's really hard to stay in touch as much as you'd like, either distance or children's activities, other priorities in life will kind of take away a lot of opportunities. But it's tough when you lose a sibling, and to see all of you here, take each and every day like it's your last. Spend the time. Tell your family that you love them, because you never know when your number is going to be up. None of us do. And Bruce had probably a higher calling. We don't. He's in a better place. As much as I love my brother, to see him go through what he had to go through, it's difficult. But he left a very loving family. He leaves behind a legacy. He's got wonderful children. As parents, you try to give them the best opportunities that you can. Give them guidance, and give them that basic foundation. And that's all we can do as parents. So, I want to say, for many of you, I recognize many, but I have many senior moments these days, so I can't remember names that well, but I do remember faces. Bruce loved you, loved all of you. I'm sure that you touched his life as much as he's touched yours. I want to thank you all for coming, and bless you all, and take care.
Thank you, Gordon. Yes. You have to introduce yourself. Because for 20-some years, I didn't even know who you were.
Hi, everyone. I am Mei-Ling Schumers. I am Bruce's baby sister. and his baby sister. And I just wanted to thank everybody for being here to spend this day to celebrate his life. And first of all, I just wanted to start off by looking at Jason and Brucey. I don't know where Brucey is. Oh, hi, Brucey. And Nathan, where are you, sweetheart? Hi. Boys, you're amazing. It was so hard when he was on his deathbed, and I did not want to let him go. I did not want to let him go because he reminded me so much of Dad. And then I looked and I saw each and every one of you boys. And I thought, my God has blessed me with 3 amazing nephews that are going to carry on every tradition that both my dad and my brother and everybody has instilled in you guys. So I am so happy and I'm so blessed for my brother to have given me you guys. And I am so blessed and thankful to have you in my life and to carry on all the traditions. And my brother wouldn't want anything more than to have everybody here. So please lift up your glasses for Bruce Wayne Ma. And let's toast him. He wouldn't want you to be sad. He wants you to raise your glasses to my brother. And Dolores, my God, people spend their life looking for a wife and a woman like you, and he has it. So please, cheers, everybody, to my brother, Bruce Wayne Ma, and his wife, and cheers, and thank you all for being here to support our family and my brother. Amen.
Thank you. Wonderful. Who do we have here?
My family and I want to say thank you for everyone that's came from around California. I know everyone traveled from far places. I asked myself, where do we begin? There's no need to, because my dad's touched everyone in this room. That is why we're here to share this moment. I was proud to call him my father. He's taught us so much. To be strong, to be a family, to love others. I'll never forget these words. He once told me, he said, "A positive life is a happy life, no matter what circumstances." When my dad was diagnosed with cancer, I was devastated. Because 2 days before, we just had my daughter. I didn't want to show him I was bothered, because I wanted to be there by his side, strong, like how he's always taught us. Wanted him to freaking fight, and I wanted him to beat it. I wanted to be there with him to beat this thing head on. Every time I'd show up to the hospital, we'd stare at each other in the eyes, but deep down inside, we were both scared. My words to him would be like, "Come on, Dad, we're gonna fight. You taught us to be strong, and we're gonna fight to the end." In 36 years of my life, the strongest person I've ever known was my dad. The cancer treatment took a toll on him. the worried look and the scared look that he had when he came to the rehab center scared me. So my brothers and I, Nate, Brad, we picked him up one day on a Sunday and took him to my brother's house in San Martin. My dad was a perfectionist, and he was always telling us, you need to do it this way, do it that way. And the day I showed up, we showed up about an hour late. He yelled at me and said, I was waiting for you guys since 1:30. It's 2:30. And I said, well, Dad, Nate picked us up. Yeah. Like Brad said earlier, that was his other son. The Batista boys, the Sakais, and the Noons were like the extensions of my brothers. They were always at our house. And he always asked about them. How are they doing? Since my dad's passing, it's been tough. And I know it's a healing process. I just close my eyes and picture his smile, his laugh. And just to get me through this. My dad is my strength of my life. And it's time to say goodbye. I'll always love you. And treat my son how you treated us. And my daughter. Love you, Dad.
Who's up?
Woo. So I'm Katrina, Bruce Mott's niece. And one day at breakfast, my aunt asked me to describe my Uncle Bruce. And I described him as kind, loving, devoted, giving, a protector, and a provider. My uncle loved his family and friends with everything in him. He would do anything for any of us. My uncle would sporadically call me just to see how I was doing. And I would call him sporadically to see where the next casino was. I'd be at a camp town and say, Uncle, I'm in Sacramento. Where's the closest casino? He says, you get on this freeway and there's a building, you make a left. And there it is, honey. Make sure you win all you can. Win big. I'd call him and say, I didn't win big. So that's okay, I'll buy you lunch, honey. Just come home. I'm gonna miss his courageous laugh so much. But I have my cousins. My cousins are amazing. The other day I was sitting there and I was just thinking about my uncle, and then I saw Jason eating the chicken bone, just kind of like a typewriter. Then he'd pull it down, and there was like no meat left on there. And I thought, wow. I see him through all his children. They're great family men, providers. They're giving and loving. They know how to make great fried rice. I'm so thankful I was able to walk the walk with my uncle. I didn't know why I was off work for so long, but I was able to actually go to every single doctor's visit with my aunt and my uncle and have some great conversations with both of them. My uncle loved my aunt and his family so much. He was just like this mother hen. He just wanted to keep everybody safe and just protected and didn't want anything from the outside hurting our family. And I'm just so thankful that I was able to sit there and witness all of this with them. I've seen relationships get restored. I've seen people who don't know Jesus come to know Jesus. I've seen my uncle be baptized in my living room. My kids are super close to my cousins now, and I just am so thankful for all of you. All of you guys are just so amazing. He'd always introduce me, oh, do you know my niece? But now I need to say, wow, do you know my uncle? Look at how many people are here. This is really amazing. You guys are awesome. He just lived an awesome life. And his laugh, I'll never forget his laugh. You know, you walk in somewhere and he's like, meh. And then I'm like, oh, there's my Uncle Bruce, you know, kind of hiding because I didn't say, oh, there's my niece. Isn't she ugly? Great, thanks. Hi. But he always just had this courageous spirit, and I just want my aunt to know how much he loved you so much. And, you know, he'd call me on his runs and just say, hey, Katrina, how's it going? He wouldn't say, Katrina, it's, hey, Trina, how's it going? What are you doing? What are you doing today? Oh, I'm going to work. Oh, you work? Yeah, I work, Uncle. Okay, make some money so we go gamble. Casino. So I just love, thank you, everybody, for supporting our family.
Nathan.
Thank you for coming today. I know that my dad loves each and one of you. I'm the youngest of I'm the youngest of 4 siblings. Growing up being the youngest, I always lived up to my siblings and my parents. My parents were like a stick of glue that couldn't pull the cap apart. Every time I saw a friend, they would tell me they saw my parents. They would eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner together. They were always together 24/7. I didn't know how they did it. I must say, I'm lucky to have a family that's close with each other. My dad was definitely a family man and provider for his family. We have memories of my dad, and I'd like to share one. One time my parents took me and my friends snowboarding. My parents bought a brand new Suburban, and with four-wheel drive, it was still enough where you needed change or four-wheel drive. I was with my aunt and my uncle, my mom and dad, and 2 of my friends. We were passing the train station. There were people on putting their chains on. My dad was laughing at those that had to be out in the cold putting on their chains. Well, as we were getting to the top of Highway 50, our four-wheel drive goes out. And who's not laughing now? My dad. We spun out. We ended up doing like 360s. We come to a complete stop. Well, guess who's out on the side of the road now? My dad, putting on chains. I'll never forget that story. I could go on and on sharing memories with my dad. These memories will always be with me. I wouldn't know where I would be today without my dad. He's done so much for us, and I can't be thankful for him. About a week ago, about a week after my dad passed, my son,
my nephew Colton told my sister-in-law out of the blue one day that our dad had came to their house that day. Nathan's wife was surprised by this and asked him where exactly he saw Papa. Upstairs, he was just saying hi. When he asked Colton what Papa looked like, immediately response was like an angel. Even though my dad couldn't be here physically to watch my nephews grow up, I comfort him knowing that he'll always be his guardian angel throughout the rest of their lives. I didn't have anything. I wasn't planning on coming up to say anything because I didn't think I can pull through it. But I would like to thank every single one of you for coming out and celebrating my dad's life. And I'm going to miss him. Looking at me and my brothers and my sister and my mom, we just got to be there for each other and get us through these hard times. I'm sure that's what he would love for us all to do. And again, I would like to thank every single one of you guys for sharing this special day with us. Thank you.
I don't know if one of the grandchildren's are going to come up. G, did you want to say anything? Bree? On behalf of my nieces and my daughters, I know, and nephews, sorry, I know that they would want to come up here and say something, but I know it's hard for them. So with that, I would like to let you guys know that they are thankful for their papa. They loved him so, so much. And he was their lives. He was there for them thick and thin, Dolores and Bruce. They did a lot for my girls. He was there for me and Brucey. He was there for us, for everything that we have now. And I wanted to thank him for that. He's taught me a lot. He's taught me a lot, and I just want to thank him, Dolores, you guys. I am the person that I am today because of him. He made me strong. I know there were some times when working with him, we always fought, Rosanna, just do it. Just do what I said, okay, please. And I would get mad and sit down, and sometimes I would cry. It's funny now looking back, and I'm like, oh my God, it's so funny. We just had this relationship was, I'll never forget. They'll always stay in my heart. So I just know that my girls loved him very much. They were by his side through the end, and also wanted to let you guys know that Kelana got a scholarship because she wrote. The lady had called her and told her that she picked her scholarship because the story that she wrote touched her heart. And so I just wanted to share that with you. But my girls, they loved him very much.
I'm really bad at talking, and I'm super emotional, so. I lived with my papa for 16 years. I'm really thankful that really thankful for them being in my life and helping me just get to where I am today, and where I wouldn't be where I am today without them. And my papa was always giving, and I'm sure everyone knows how giving my papa was here. He would do anything for anyone, and being so far away from home, it was really hard, but I knew that my papa was strong, and he wanted me to finish what I was doing. And I tried so hard to finish so that one day he could come and see me graduate. But I know now he really is going to be there with me when I walk across the stage. I'm just really thankful because they made me who I am today. And just thank you, and thank you, Nini. And I know Papa's in here, his spirit's with us, so thank you, Papa.
Hi.
They also want to thank him for getting all those pads and going to the store when they said, Papa, can you go get me some pads? And he would be...
Yeah, I'm not going to the store to get pads. I got 4 girls, but my dad would go and get them for us.
And he'd be in line and he'd be like, he didn't care. Yeah, I'm getting my granddaughter some pads. I mean, what's a big deal, you know? But he would never, ever go.
I don't think to this day I've gone and got any pads.
So Bruce, thank you for that. I know you'll be in our hearts forever, and we have so many memories that we all can share with each other, and that's what we're here today for.
And I like to say this one thing that my dad told me. He was more worried about leaving my mom behind, and I told him, Dad, don't worry, we got that covered. Once he realized that he knew that we as the boys and my sister were going to be there for my mom, it was like he was at ease, and he was like accepting what he was dealt with. And Dad, not to worry, because Mom, we are going to take care of you to that day. Thanks.
And I also wanted to share Bruce's very last breath that he took. He did not want to leave. He struggled for that last breath, and I'll never forget that. But what stays in my heart is when my husband told him to go, he was ready because we told him, you know, to leave it, to go with the angels and God. But just that last breath of his, it was like he just didn't want to leave. And I know that now he sees us looking down, and I know that he is happy and he loves every one of us, and that will remain with us forever. Thank you all.
All right, thank you. Now let's celebrate his life.
Gianna would like to say something.
Hi, I'm Gianna. I'm the oldest. Louder. I'm the oldest granddaughter. And I wasn't planning to come up here. I was scared because I thought my water would break. But I love my papa very much. And know he loved me too. It was so funny. He always made me laugh. One memory I have a lot, but the one that I'll always remember is we were at a reception and he got on the mic and he said to my husband that he may call me princess, but I'll always be his princess. So I know that, and I was just kind of upset because he wasn't going to be here to meet his great-grandchild. But I know he'll be with me to make sure to have a safe delivery. And he'll always be her guardian angel. I just love him very much. And that's it.
We're going to have, any more speakers? One? We're going to have one more speaker. Jason's put together a slideshow for us.
Good afternoon. My name is Greg Aguilera, and I'm Bruce's uncle. You've all heard Bruce's testimony. But you know, Bruce left a legacy. And the biggest legacy that he left was that he accepted the Lord as his Lord and Savior. Many of you may not understand what I'm saying, but if you do not understand what I am saying, please go to someone who knows the Word of God, and they will explain to you what we mean by accepting Jesus as Lord and Savior. Bruce left that legacy for his family. That was the greatest legacy that he left. Bruce accepted the Lord and was baptized as an adult, just the way the Bible explains it, what we should do. The Bible says, if any man be in Christ, he is a new creation. All things have passed away. Behold, all things have become new. And so Bruce, I'm sure, would like for you to continue the legacy that he left, because that is the greatest legacy, that is the greatest gift. It is the gift of eternal life. And his promise to us is, let not your heart be troubled. Believe in God, believe also in me. In my Father's house there are many mansions, and I go to prepare a place for you. If this was not so, I would have told you. And if I go to prepare a place, I will come for you again. Jesus is coming back soon, believe me or not. With all the technology that we have, that the world can be destroyed, Jesus is coming back, and that is your only safety, to be in the hands of Jesus. And I thank you for your attention. May God bless you all.
That concludes it. We're going to have a slideshow in a few minutes. Jason, it'll take you about 4 or 5 minutes to set up. I know it's hard for the family to talk, but they have told me to really express their gratitude to you for those that brought food today, for those that have been with them the past few months, that's supporting them, talking to them, being there with them. They really appreciate it, and thank you. God bless you.